NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg has held a meeting with Ukraine's deputy prime minister over tensions in the east of the country and with Russia. And now to get the latest on this, let's go live to Ras Cullen in Brussels. Ras, what are you learning from the meeting and what have both sides been saying?
Hi, Mang. Yes, Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary-General, having talks this morning with Olga Stefanishyna. She's the Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister. Those talks coming before wider discussions this afternoon between all 30 NATO members and Ukraine. Jens Stoltenberg laying out his demands for Russia. He said that Russia must remove its forces from inside Ukraine. This contested a part in the east of Ukraine where a war has been going on since 2014. He also demanded that Russia remove its forces from the neighbouring border regions with Ukraine, that Russia demonstrate transparency, and also that Moscow is willing to de-escalate. He said that Russia needs to understand that there is a way forward through diplomacy, but NATO also needs to be ready to respond if Russia chooses a path of military force. Jens Stoltenberg saying that we believe that all countries should be free to choose their own security arrangements, and Ukraine is, as far as NATO is concerned, a country that should be allowed to move towards NATO membership. As I say, he was at that meeting with Olga Stefanishyna, the Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister, and for her part, she was saying that the main principle we want reaffirmed at the meetings on Monday afternoon between Ukraine and NATO is that there is nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. So what she means is that there are no meetings or discussions held this week, and we have, Mang, a pretty high-profile week with a lot of high-stakes meetings involving the United States, Russia, the European Union, NATO, and the wider security issue is the one that is key on the table. She said there's nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine, demanding that Kiev and the Ukrainian authorities are represented, do have seats at the table when their country is being discussed. She said we should be free to choose our own security arrangements if we want to enter into partnerships. That should not be what Moscow wants us to do. That should be what Kiev wants to do. We should be able to choose that by ourselves. She also thanked NATO for its unwavering, enduring support of Ukraine's territorial integrity, Ukraine's sovereignty, and she did look forward to those meetings this afternoon. We said we must do everything possible to prevent an invasion by Russia into my country, her words. And also we did hear from Jens Stoltenberg saying that he looks forward to these discussions this afternoon, saying that there will be a high political and economic cost if there is any further Russian aggression towards Ukraine. He's echoing statements we've heard previously from the European Union. You can see the building behind me. The European Union have said to Russia, if there is any further aggression towards Ukraine, there will be massive consequences and severe costs.